Up, diecast collectors, we are back at it with another diecast review here on the 9446 network, and today we're gonna be back with another Toyota diecast, folks. We are back on the Toyota train. Of course, Kyle Busch's final year with Joe Gibbs Racing. We're gonna have a final review ever of an Interstate Batteries Kyle Busch car. This is the 2022 Interstate Batteries Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing. An absolutely fantastic car. This paint scheme on the next-gen car looks amazing. This looks amazing. Holy Christ, this is good. Like, the Gen 6 car had the same type of paint scheme, but the Gen 7, something about it makes it look more, it kind of looks like it's more defined, more bold, more, just seems a bit more exaggerated in terms of every feature of it, which is really, really good. I actually like that. They really went through extreme lengths to go all out with this paint scheme. Who knows if Ty Gibbs will have the same paint scheme or if they'll just come up with a new one. Wouldn't surprise me if it's the same one. But for you Kyle Busch fans, this is the Kyle Busch version for your diecast series. This is definitely going to be a beautiful car to see in the Flash Racing Cup Series Season 4. Just the cars, all the cars this year are really nice. This is one of them. So we're going to get this diecast review on. Number 18, Joe Gibbs Racing at the Camry front end, which is not too bad, but you can tell there's a couple nick marks in the grill. You got Interstate Batteries right there. Kyle Busch, Toyota. Got to get used to this being an RCR car next year for Kyle Busch. You got Sunoco, Goodyear, NASCAR Cup Series. They haven't been putting the NASCAR race car logos. I'm assuming that's because the cars are incomplete. Got the 18 right there, Rowdy. You got the Toyota logo, the Interstate Batteries, JD Gibbs, Toyota. TRD is on every single one of these Toyotas. You got the Walt right there, M&M's, Ream. And on the back of it, you got Toyota Camry, TRD, Interstate. You got John 316, I am second. That's been on all the Interstate Battery cars. Number 18, Toyota. And all his contingencies are on the deck lid right there, if I can read some. The ones I can pronounce the name of. Breathe Right, Mac Tools, Siemens, that Wolf logo that I can't read. That other logo that I'm not able to read. Sherwin-Williams, Mobile One, and Lincoln Welders. Get the little DeWalt logos, really small. Kyle Busch, outrageously dependable. And this car, compared to last year and in 2020, has a couple of differences, and I'm going to go over those. First of which, starting out with the numbers, they kind of removed some of the detail that used to be in there. So instead of having like that green outline to it, inside of the number 18 where the white number fill-in is, because you can see it's got a black outline. It used to have a green outline to it. It's not there anymore. Now it's just a single color, black and then white. So, I don't know. I didn't really like it at first, but now that I think of it, it kind of does look more, kind of makes it look more bold, I guess. The Interstate Batteries logo slanted and huge on the side definitely complements it as well. Of course, you can see the hood is also different from the other two cars, the 2020 and the 2021. It no longer has just the Interstate Batteries without the, all this stuff going on. Now it has the entire logo with the entire oval with the green and black and, of course, the spikes of the red and green. So we got that logo back on. This has been something on all the Kyle Busch cars except in 2020 and 2021. So they brought it back and they put it on this car. And another thing they brought back that I really, really like. A colored roof number, guys. We got the red outline, the white outline, and the red number fill-in. This car is also the same for Martin Truex Jr. and who else ran this car besides the Xfinity Series, Ty Gibbs car. Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, and I think that's it. I don't think anyone else. Did Denny Hamlin run one? I don't think so. I highly doubt Denny Hamlin did not drive this. Christopher Bell, I don't think drove this either. So Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch have driven this car. And of course, Ty Gibbs and Xfinity. But we're just going to talk about the Cup Series. This car has been on the 19 and the 18. So will they do the number 19? I don't know if they're going to do the number 19. I don't know if I would get it if they did it, because I skipped the, as of right now, the DeWalt Kyle Busch because it looked like Christopher Bell. I kind of want this car to be unique. There's a couple cars like this that I want to be unique. And this is definitely one that I would love to keep as a unique scheme. Because it just looks awesome, with the number 18. That's just the way it's supposed to be like. So that bright red-orange number, very DEI like, or Nobel Peace Prize like, I should say, because it wasn't just the DEI cars. But paint scheme itself got the lime green, it's gloss, and of course it's gonna have a lot of green gradients all around it. So I'm gonna zoom in on it. It's kind of a hard paint scheme to point out exact like details, but it does have a lot of details, of course, with the lightning bolts. So it's just got green and, you know, the white and all, just like the brightest green, the light green, and then of course a bit of dark green. It's just all over this thing. And if you zoom in on it, because this is gonna be a car that I'm gonna zoom in for because of all its details. You guys can tell the amount of gradients on this car, and of course the lightning bolts. It's kind of like in a scattered pattern across the hood and on the roof, but you can clearly tell it's going a certain direction. It's like it's going this way, so it's gonna shoot up this way, up towards the rear window. Really nice looking behind the logos and decals. The gradients up front looks really good. And of course the side, I think my favorite part of the gradients on the side, yeah, the side looks really cool with it scattered and bold with the lightning bolts, the yellow, white, green, and all those shades of green. Any type of shade and hue of green you can imagine is on this car. But my favorite part about it is, look at how that lightning bolt kind of streaks up towards the roof rails and around Kyle's name. Just look at how sharp that is. It goes up and then just across the roof. What a fantastic paint scheme. That's my favorite part about the next gen version. You can kind of see more of the lightning bolt just going up and then just across this way. Very artistic. This is an artistic paint scheme right here, guys. This one has so much detail. You can see all the shades of the lightning bolts and the green. It's going to be like this on both sides. It's a symmetrical paint scheme, so you guys can tell. The back has a really nicely, I love how it just says Interstate and then just has the darkest green, and then the lightning bolt, just a storm of green. And this is probably the liveliest Interstate Batteries livery. When they brought this style paint scheme in 2020, they just kept on improving it. They left it the same, I believe, from 2020 to 2021. They didn't really change that much. This is the car that got all the changes. And hopefully you guys are able to find this car. I'm pretty sure this will be in Authentics again. I hope they don't mess up the graphics resolution. If they don't do that, you can easily get this car. Joe Gibbs Racing Shop might be getting some next-gen cars. I'm not going to confirm it, but I really hope he is. That shop is going to get some of this stuff. But yeah, absolutely a fantastic car. One thing that would have made this even cooler, of course, I say it in all the videos, green wheels would have looked awesome. Can you imagine like the lime green wheels and then the lime green splitter and spoiler? But you know, the black and the black spoiler and splitter kind of does make it look sharper and not too cluttered with the green now that I think of it. And oh man, we got ourselves a little. Let's zoom in on that. A gray paint chip on the spoiler. Fantastic, as you guys can tell. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. It's not a Lionel diecast without a nick mark, but you do have a gray paint chip. Now, that may or may not be my fault. I kind of remember this being there when I unboxed it. It was at the chip right here. I don't think this was my fault. I think this came like this because the Lionel cars they're having issues painting these spoilers. Like the paint up here, let's see. The corners, so here, and here is where they're chipping. That's just the way the paint quality is of the spoiler. Everything else looks fine, as you can tell. The entire, so you can see any part that's not an aerodynamic like piece. The splitters are usually okay, and as soon as I say there's a little white nick mark there, but that's all good. So it seems like splitters and spoilers are where the paint chips are happening. But the rest of the car looks fine. There's no paint chips on top of the wrap, no decal chips or anything like that. That's weird. Nothing that's insane. It's just the splitters and the spoilers that are having these weird little marks. But there you go. You got that beautiful little chip right there. Other than that, it's a fantastic, beautiful car. So we're going to give you guys a 360 view of it. There you go. Do the whole thing. If they painted the underbodies, this is definitely a car I would love to see, like a green underbody or something like. I'll show you guys what I mean by that in a second. I know years ago, when the Lionel or the Hot Wheels NASCARs and the Racing Champions used to have painted parts. So this would have been green, and then the interior. Holy cow! Can you guys imagine if they put a green interior in this car? Holy Christ, man, that would look so awesome. But other than that, this car, It just looks so awesome, so bold, fantastic, bright. Just gets the message across big time for Interstate Batteries. Such a great car. I really like the heck out of this one. This one is really... we all love the M&Ms and candy theme ones, but these Interstate Batteries cars, man, these things look fantastic. I love this livery. Kyle Busch, I'm gonna miss. This is another thing I'm gonna miss when he goes to Childress. I highly doubt Interstate Batteries goes to Richard Childress. So this might be the only time we get one for Kyle Busch like this. So I hope he runs this scheme again at some point, because this is a fantastic, awesome looking car. You're definitely going to see him use this in the Flash Racing Cup Series. And of course, shout out to Kyle Busch fans, Toyo Sports, Simon Toyo Sports channel, SR71. Shout out to you, man, because you may have a chance of getting this diecast in the Authentics line, or even on Plan B sales, which Plan B sales is doing pretty good sales on these cars. So you can definitely pick it up there. You can pick up 3 Kyle Busch cars. And when you pick up your 3 cars, you could get 15% off of shipping. But that's not for my channel. You're going to get this promotion from other channels. We don't have a Plan B sales code. We're not sponsored by them. But, you know, we kind of do recommend you get it from there if you don't live in Concord, close to the Concord retail store like I do. So if you want to get these cars, I'd say your best shot is get it from Plan B sales. Other than that, folks, great car. Spent a lot of time reviewing it, so I think it's time to end it. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next diecast review. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecast.